I'm here to introduce Olivia Tullett, her new clothing brand, which is tied up with us to promote her to the outside world of shooting and countryside. She has come on board with the July game month. She's going to be doing lots of different things throughout the year. She's launching her products at the Scottish Game Fair, and she's a shooter that is trying to produce a range of clothing for ladies that's practical shooting and countryside clothing. So it's fashionable, but you can actually go and do something with it.
So for me, it's producing a ladies' clothing brand for the country that is practical. British made. British made is very important. But the practical side of things is there's so many things out there on the market that you can buy, you can go out, you can get, a range of colours, but you put them on and they don't necessarily fit properly. And if they do fit properly, you can't move in them. So being an outdoor clothing brand, you've got to have movement, you've got to be comfortable and warm and dry. So I've been shooting for a long time, since I was 14. My dad got me into it when I was 14, not necessarily through choice. I was dragged along and you can do this because you're my daughter and you can do it, it's fine. And it just kind of went from there. I shot clays on and off for probably 6 or 7 years. And then my dad took me on, my late father took me on my first game shoot, which was quite interesting. Only girl, loads of men. I shot my first bird, I think it was on the second stand that I did. And it was a mixed emotion. It was like, oh, I've just shot something, but yay, I hit it. But all the years of clay shooting, it was like I'm glad I did it to give me the practice, so I knew that when I hit it, it was coming down. I didn't injure it or anything like that. But when I did go shooting, I was dressed in either my dad's clothes that came down to my knees that were far too big, or I went out and I bought just a jacket that was not particularly flattering, but was warm and dry.
And you like clay shooting as well as game shooting. Mm-hmm. Why do you like going out with a gun and shooting clay pigeons or pheasants or anything like that?
For me, it's downtime. So it's my way of switching off. It's my way of relaxing. If I come shooting and I've got lots on my mind, I miss. So I know in my head that as soon as my feet touch the ground at a clay ground, I've got to just clear my mind, reset. A lot of people go on holiday or they travel or they do this. Yes, I'd love to do that, but I don't have the time to do it at the moment. So for me, if I pick up my gun, I stand here, I fire a few clays, it's just with every shot, I feel more relaxed. I feel I can just go, and have a bit of me time, and it's good fun. It's really the feeling you get when you hit a clay and it smashes into millions of pieces. It's like, yes, I did it, I hit it, especially when my husband misses.
So when you go game shooting on a day, it's about the whole day out. So it's about dressing up, it's about meeting people, it's about once you've shot the bird, it's about eating them. So at the end of the day, you have a brace of birds. So that's what we try and do. So even our days, everyone has to wear the correct clothing.
So you're right, the etiquette and the attire and everything, it's about the whole experience. You get up, you meet your people, you're dressed in your tweed, but when you first meet, and you have breakfast, you're in indoor tweed, and then you go out and you boot up and you go out to your stand, and if it's raining, obviously you wear your outside waterproof coats, etc. But standing on your peg, especially on a lovely misty morning, tweed is a very warm material to wear, but it's smart. Like if you go to a shoot and you get a group of ladies, gentlemen, mixed, whichever you go to, they're all very, very smart at the beginning of the day. And it's the tweed, so you've got your breeks and you've got your socks and you've got your boots or your wellies and a nice shirt and a waistcoat and a jacket. And it's very British. It's very, how can I say, quintessentially British? Is that the right way of putting it? So for me, when I joined, obviously I was surrounded by men. It was a very intimidating time. And I just kind of grabbed what I could and put it on, and yes, okay, I could shoot, but I found that the more comfortable I was, the better I shot. And that might have just been a coincidence, but if you're, as a woman, and there's ladies out there that will agree with me, maybe some men as well. If you are comfortable in what you're wearing, you don't get distracted by it, and you concentrate on what you're doing. You don't think, oh, I get to my stand and I have to tuck my shirt back in or pull my trousers up or this or that or the other. So for me, as a lady that has, all ladies have curves, some are different areas, some are, we're all curvy, no matter what shape we are. And to have something that you can put on and it just sits, no matter what size you are. I mean, I produce clothing in sizes 8 to 22 and UK sizes. And to put it on and go, do you know what? Yes, right, that fits. I can crack on with my day. I can crack on with my shooting. And obviously different people have different needs. People put on things and go, well, I just want something really simple. Other people go, right, I want something that's a bit more technical. It's got a bit more padding, etc., etc. But for me, as a lady, I like to look nice, be practical and comfortable. So for the more, what I would call traditional look, there's a lot of garments out there that look very similar to the one that I'm sporting, so to speak. The overall fit is the same across the board in all my garments. So it goes in at the waist and out at the hips and out at the bust. It's all British made. This one is a button-up finish, button-up front, which means that obviously when you're shooting you have it done up, but a lot of ladies don't like zips in case they scratch their gun. And it's got reasonable sized pockets, but for ladies that prefer to load from a cartridge bag or a pouch, etc. It's a gradual length, so it covers a substantial amount of the derriere, which ladies prefer. And especially when mounting, I've decided to use moleskin on this for a smoother mount, but also it doesn't crinkle so much as some of the suedes out there. So I do have an online shop. You can order online. Everything is, at the moment, we have a very small stock because it's a new collection, but we try and turn things around within a week or so. I am doing the Scottish Game Fair. So that's the 5th, 6th, 7th of July up in Screen Palace. And then obviously we've got the Game Month here, which you can take part in. And then I'm doing the Hatfield Game Fair, 26th, 7th and 8th of July. So I'll have a stand you can come and try on. I've got all my garments in all the colours, in all the sizes, and you try it on. It then gets ordered and made specifically for you, because if you're spending what you're spending on my items, you don't necessarily want things that people have tried on already.
And obviously, shooting school wise, you've got some stores as well, haven't you? And you will have.
Yeah.
You'll be here on the Festival of Shooting on the 7th of September. So what sort of stores can you go into if you want to buy your product and see your product?
There is I'm building my list of stockists across the UK, Europe and America. There is a list online, so that's probably the easiest way of going about it. There will be probably a few items in your shop come the next couple of months. But yeah, the best way to do is just go online and have a look there.